Okay, the next example that I'm going to show is a common use case for AppleScript with Apple Mail. So I've got some messages here with attachments. There are 3 of them. And to download an attachment, we need to select the message, click on the attachment, and choose where we want to download it to. And if we don't want it in Documents or Downloads, then we have to go through the process of finding the folder that we want to download to. Well, we can script this to make it much easier. So rather than type along, what I've done is I've created the script here and saved it so that it looks a lot easier to read right from the start. So this script is going to take any messages that I've selected and automatically take the attachments and download them to a different folder from those defaults that we have. Now this top line sets the save path to point to a specific folder. It's going to point to the desktop here and then a folder that is within that desktop called saved attachments, and it's got a colon at the end. Now this is the folder that will receive the downloaded attachments. If this folder doesn't exist when you run this script, it's not going to be created, the script will just fail. So it is important this folder exists at the outset. Now next, we are going to tap Mail on the shoulder again and tell it what to do. And it's going to set the selected messages to selection. And that just means take whatever email messages I currently have selected in the Mail app and store them in a container called selected messages. Then we have repeat with the message in selected messages. And this is saying for every email that is in the group called selected messages, you're going to do the next set of actions one by one. So if you imagine you have like a stack of letters, this line is saying go through each letter in the pile and do something with it one at a time, and then call each one of them the message whilst you're working on it. Now this next line here, the set the attachments one, is saying take all the stuff attached to this email and put it in a folder called the attachment so that we can work with them next. And of course, the next line is asking to do that with each one. Now set attachment name to name of the attachment is taking the file name of the attachment and it's remembering it as attachment name so that it can be used later. In fact, it's used on this next line because this is where the file path is set that's going to be saved. So this save file here is how the script is going to reference or define the full path. And it will save it in this path up here, save path inside this folder. Next, we have the word try. And this opens up what is called a try block. Now, put simply, it's saying, okay, we're going to try something new now. And if it fails, please don't crash the whole script, just carry on. So it's going to try and run any actions defined between the word try and end try here. And the action that it's going to run is to save the attachment into our save location. We then have a series of end lines here to close off those try, repeat, and tell blocks that we have earlier. Okay, now if I come into Finder, I've got a folder here in my Documents folder called Lee Invoices. Now this is where I actually want to have a script to automatically download the attachments to. That means I need to modify this script to point to the new location. As I'm sure you're going to be doing this as you follow along as well. So I need to change this. It says desktop folder, but that's not the source path. It's going to be my Documents folder that I want to point to. And this folder here, well, this needs to be called Lee Invoices. Okay, I'll save. And this script should run okay. Actually, no, it won't. I've actually made an error there, which some of you may have spotted. This up here should be Documents with an S on the end. Okay, I'll save that. And there, that looks better. We will make mistakes. So let's switch across to Mail. I'll use the Command key and click to select these emails. Then I'll come up to the menu bar. And down here, my new script, Save Lee Invoices to Private folder is there. I need to give access, which I'll do. And that has run. So let's go check. And there are my attachments.